This right here is part 3 of the top 26 episodes of Friendship is Magic. No, all media, video, clips that are used in the making of this video series are being used in great respect to their owners, Hasbro, DHX Media, and possibly some WWE stuff here too. That would be Titan Sports. No money making is intended in this video series, and this is also my uncensored opinion. Disclaimers. Well, guys, we're off to part 3, and if you missed any of the previous parts, my happy little friend, my editor pony, one of my best friends on Xbox Live / Arbiter, who's doing the editing for this video series, will kindly put annotations right up there on the top left and right up there on the top right, so you can get the previous parts of this countdown if you missed anything. Other than that, I'm not going to waste your time with mindless recap. We're up to the top 15, folks. We're finally through the upper free forest, and we can finally see Sweet Apple Acres in the distance. So let's do this. Number 15. Oh man, this list is really, really hard. Why? Because in the 52 episodes that I consider good, to trim this down to 26 is almost backbreaking, especially when episodes that would be considered in other people's top 10s can't even crack it here. Which the next 5, starting with this one, Dragon Shy can quickly attest. This is the first episode, so that mainly focuses on poor Fluttershy. Now, I like Fluttershy. I like her personality. In fact, 3 episodes that feature her have already been on this list. That should tell you something about my pony pecking order. This episode in particular focuses on Fluttershy's fear of adult dragons.
Dragon?
Now, understand that I'm making this specification because in this episode she clearly specifies that she's not afraid of Spike because he's a baby dragon.
Spike is a dragon? You're not scared of him. Yes, because he's not a huge, gigantic, terrifying, enormous, teeth-gnashing, sharp-scale-having, horn-wearing, smoke-snoring, could-eat-a-pony in one bite, totally all-grown-up dragon.
Now, this episode is the first in which we can see the continuity of the series come to play when Rainbow Dash mentions the Mana Core back in the pilot.
Oh, come on! We've seen you walk right up to a horrible manticore like it was nothing. Yes, because he wasn't a dragon.
Funny thing about the pilot, you might be hearing about that in just a bit. But when Princess Trollestia decides to give the Harmony 6 a job to get rid of an adult dragon who's causing so much smoke you'd think you were formerly in an Old West bar, the Harmony 6 set off to give him the eviction notice. What follows is the rest of the Harmony 5 having to deal with Fluttershy's fear and having to overcome it just to get to the top of the mountain.
It's so high.
Your turn, Fluttershy.
But it's so wide.
And every character is in perfect role here. Even Rarity can't screw this one up. And even her bits are actually good here. Plus, you can also see each of the Harmony Six's role pecking order. Twilight being the leader, Applejack being the calm, honest, caring one, Rainbow Dash being the go-get-em douchebag that she is, and Rarity ending up somewhere around the middle. And Pinkie Pie being, well, whatever she is. but then again, that's part of the fun of this episode. Plus, we get the first indication of the stare. And if you've seen Anthony C's video of a demonic 3D stare, it would perfectly fit here. It's just too bad I don't want to steal from other people's videos. And believe me, it's pretty darn good. And the overall lesson of being brave enough to overcome your fear is a nice thing, and it bounces well because it's reinforced in an eclipsed number 20 on our list. But this is really the first episode that got me liking Fluttershy. The only sad thing is, it also set an unfortunate trope with Fluttershy too. But it's got a good solid spot at 15. Number 14. Oh man. 14. To tell you the truth, to put this episode this low amazes me. Why? Because I keep referring back to it over and over and over again. What episode am I referring to? Well, of course, the pilot, of course. Here's how I judge new series that I watch. I judge series based on the first 3 episodes of whatever that series is. If I'm not hooked by the end of the 3rd episode, you practically lost me. Which means pilot is paramount. And let me again state that any 2-part episode will be treated as one on this list. So I'm not going to pick things out here. Any good show starts with a good opener. Although not many people when the show originally aired back on October 10th, 2010, thought it was a good pilot. In fact, the Hub wasn't even so sure the series would survive its original 13. Thank God it did. What's the secret to a good pilot? Well, introducing the main focus of the show in a way that's easy and digestible, making you want to see more, and establishing the lore of what the world of the show and the people of the show are about. Something that the show does in the first 3 minutes. Thank God. Yes, it's making reference to the original 1985 opening, but the fact that the magical world of ponies actually has a name here is your first shock to the system. Then you're given the basic lore about the creation of the elements of harmony, Trollestia and Luna, and yes, the whole thing with Nightmare Moon. What proceeds is a 101 class pilots of the future of how to do a pilot. Each character is introduced in their own individual nugget, bounced off of each other, given immediate importance, and given each their own individual personality and time to shine. The only thing that makes this episode a little lacking is the fact that it almost tips its hat off in part 2 to the way too much foreshadowing. Plus, Giggle at the Ghosties is not such a bad song as well. And the fact that Pinkie Pie burst in the song and the characters react negatively almost gives you the viewpoint of the fan, which is absolutely wonderful here. Combine that with a beautiful setup and one of only 3 episodes written by the almighty Faust herself. And you've got a pilot of destruction that is pretty damn good. And the amazing thing, it's 14. 13. 13 is an unlucky number to some. Not necessarily to me, but when it comes to My Little Pony, 13 is good. Because it was really 13, meaning episode 13 of the series that really started to break it up. Sure, many people give that credit to Winter Wrap-Up, which is understandable. But the real winner in this sweepstakes is Suited for Success. Yes, the only Rarity episode that I actually like. Why? Well, if you're basing your whole criteria on strength of the writing, strength of the song and continuity, then yes, yes, yes. Best song of season 1, Art of the Dress? Check. Best written plot line for a single character driven episode, even for Rarity? Check. Check. The main 6 acting perfectly in character, and even the birth of the 20% core line that has become an internet meme? Check. Check. Combine that with beautiful animation, and this is really, really the writers and the animation cast showing off. And you've got the definitive, if you're not in by now, we can't help you episode. But then trust me, I'm actually very proud to put this at 13. Speaking of winter wrap-up, number 12. Winter wrap-up. No, Under the Dress is good. Very good. Winter wrap-up is like the My Little Pony version of the Macarena. The first truly addictive song of the series. Practically every major brony that has a YouTube channel in this thing has sung it, done something with it. It is practically the song of songs here. And the plot's not bad either. Showing every pony in Ponyville on screen, which is impressive. Showing the Harmony 6 in their elements. Spike actually being a great joke generator and straight guy. Great lesson about finding your place in your own local neighborhood and fitting into traditions. Great funny Twilight teen gags. And yes, Twilight is adorable here. I can't not say it. And builds on the world and continuity of the series, giving us a new way to look at spring cleaning in the first day of spring. And we even get some Pinkie Pie character exposition as well, too. It's just an overly well done episode. Period. That is why it's number 12. Number 11. Well, 15, 14, 13. Well, we're finally down to the final episode of this part. And it's rather shocking. Yes, I'm about to take people off. Yes, I'm about to get negative comments. Yes, I'm about to get private messages of people questioning me whether I'm completely out of my fucking mind putting this near the top 10. See, let me give you a little inside baseball. Before I started recording this video, the Crystal Empire was going to be in this spot. But then I thought better of it and thought, no, it's not going to be in this spot. Feeling Pinky Keen is. No, I know, another episode written by the notorious Mayweather Williams. Could have been here too if I really wanted to tick people off. I could have put Bridal Gossip or Dragon Quest, but feeling Pinky Keen, Charlotte Fullerton writes this one. And here's why it gets the controversy. It's all about, well, let's cut the crap. God. Pinkie Pie has a bizarre godlike ability called Piggy Sense that everybody in Ponyville, sans Twilight, seems to know about. See, when her body starts to get twitchy, weird things start to happen.
Pinkie Pie, what in the wide, wide world of Equestria are you up to?
Oh, it's my tail! It's my tail! It's a twitchin'! And you know what that means?
Actually, Pinkie, I haven't the slightest idea.
The twitchin' means my pinky sense is telling me that stuff's gonna start falling. You two better duck for cover.
Of course, the rest of Harmony 6 believe in it, while Twilight Sans does not, and wants to find a scientific explanation to all the weird. What follows is an exposition on people's belief in otherworldly phenomenon and the scientific notion of theorization to straight fact. Now, most people look at this episode as one of the worst written because of its controversial topic. But here's my view on it. It's actually one of the best written episodes because of this. Great shows that I've watched over time have tackled really touchy subjects. And when you get to belief, which means you're getting straight into the religion coffer, it's hard not to write it at a controversial angle. It's the fact that the writers were even willing to and put it in a comedic sense that gives this episode massive plops. And plus, this practically shows Pinky at her most weird and Twilight at her over inquisitive, sometimes to a fault, best. And yes, if anybody loves what I like to call Twilight torture, then this is the ideal. This is where it starts. We see our first on-screen appearance of one Ditsy Doo, also known as Derpy Hooves here, classic usage of Looney Tunes gag, and more.
Twitchy tail.
Twitchy tail?
Twitchy tail!
Hush, Spike. We can't let Pinky know we're here, remember?
Something's gonna fall! Something's gonna fall! Run for your lives!
Ugh, Spike, honestly, you're overreacting.
You see, the way to look at this episode is based upon this. If Pinkie Pie, with her pinky sense, acts as your god, then Twilight is your non-believer. Spike is your formerly non-believer that, due to the actions of the episode, quickly becomes a religious prophet and starts becoming the believer. Throughout the episode, the non-believer, Twilight, is using science to try to prove the actions of the quote-unquote God ungodlike. But by the end of the episode, what we get is acceptance.
The fight. I can't fight it anymore. I don't understand how, why, or what. But Pinky's sense somehow makes sense. I don't see how it does, but it just does. Just because I don't understand doesn't mean it's not true. You mean you believe? Yep. I guess I do.
That's what many people are missing about the lesson. It's not to say to believe in an otherworldly force. It is to accept the fact that people do. And it's not forcing you to believe that it's true. It's trying to tell you that some people do believe it and some people don't. Doesn't mean that people don't have the right to. When you look at this episode in this context, it is written so much better. And yes, we get some slight stoner humor from Applejack and Spike. Although hearing stoner humor from Applejack is kind of weird. 15 episodes down, 10 to go. And these are the big ones. And yes, there's some more controversy around the unicorn horn. See what I did there? So until next time, find peace in your own nirvana.